All right, friends, round number 3. So we're going to start off with a little work for our wrists. So I'm going to come in a little bit for this one. I'm going to just put it down in front first. So it's an alternating flexion extension. You can do it with bent arms. You can do it with straight arms. So you can see one hand, the wrist is in flexion, one is in extension, and then you reverse it. So basically you're doing an infinity symbol. All right. So what we've been doing in the first couple of rounds is doing a move with the Clubbell and then a move with the Kettlebell, or it's reversed. So Kettlebell, Clubbell. I'll get the names right one of these days, but who really cares? All right, so what we're going to do now is do both of them together. This is a real brain teaser because we're just going to do a clean to the rack and a clean to the guard at the same time with one of each. Here you've got a long leverage. Here you've got one where everything's nice and tucked in. It's a great challenge. So let's take a look at it. Get your kettlebell out in front of you. Get your Clubbell out in front of you. Sit well back. Get your shoulder pack. And here we go. So there's our first one. Then we're just going to do it from the hang. And put it down safely. So generally, what we do is move right on into some body weight or right onto the second tool. But we use both tools. So what we're going to do is put another power hitter of a calisthenic move into the process here instead. So we were just practicing some with behind our back, our arms behind our back, and doing some pumping. And that felt good, but I noticed when I did my shoulder park squat that I could use a little bit more opening up the posterior chain. So what we're going to do is a few repetitions of the whip. Now the whip, you want to make sure you do it correctly. Do not bend your knees too much. If you do, you're going to scrape your knuckles on the ground. You'll see what I'm talking about. So here's the whip. Interlace the fingers, palms together. Bring them up and back. I'm touching right there at the back. It's called the great hammer in Chinese medicine. Then what we're going to do is, as my arms start to straighten, my hips are going to hinge back. I'm going to sweep through the legs, looking through the legs when I do, with an exhalation. Huh. 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 All the way straight with the legs. Huh. And then hip hinge. Two more. And bring the arms down. Oh yeah. That feels good. All right, so what do we have to do now? Opposite hand. For our set number 2 in round number 3. I love being out here in the dirt. I have to tell you, dirt, rocks, forest, desert, mountains, beach, my favorite places to train. You know, one of the problems that people are having these days are, aside from the fact that they're overweight, undermoved, way too much processed food, way too much sugar, salt, fats, and so on and so forth, all that, all the usual stuff, don't like their jobs, don't get along well with their family, afraid of the COVID virus, afraid of the political parties and all that jazz. One of the big things that people aren't doing and haven't been for a while is getting outside and getting dirty. It exposes you to viruses and bacteria, and your body gets used to it, so you don't get sick all the time. I never get sick. I haven't seen a doctor except one time for only one session, and I wish I hadn't done it because it didn't help. I just went on with my natural healing stuff, and it got better. All right, so that's my little rant. Let's get on to the heart of the matter here. Get your position, get yourself ready, get yourself psyched up for it. You're going to do a clean up into the guard position and a clean into the rack position. Here we go. That was sloppy. There we go. One more. All right, so one more round of the infinity. And there's round number 3.